This video is about finding zeros and their multiplicities given a polynomial function. We will start with this example. F of x equals x, then x minus 2, then x plus 3 squared, then x squared minus 16. Now, the next step is technically optional, but if you want to be really correct, you need to rewrite it and set it equal to 0. That's how we usually find the zeros of the function. We set the y coordinate or the y equal to 0 and then solve for x. Now, this function is already in factored form, which makes our lives a lot easier. We can use the zero factor property to just set each individual factor to 0. So the first factor is x. X equals 0. X was to the first power, so multiplicity for this 0 is 1. Now we'll go to the next factor. The next factor is x minus 2. We'll set that equal to 0. So x equals 2. Now this parenthesis was also to the first power, so multiplicity on this 0 is 1. Okay, the third factor, x plus 3 equals 0. So x equals negative 3. Now, x plus 3 was squared to begin with. What does that mean? So kind of on the side, little note. So x plus 3 squared really means x plus 3 times x plus 3. So there's really two zeros that are identical that happen to be in the same location. So that means that multiplicity of this 0 is 2. And then the last one we have x squared minus 16 equals 0. So x squared equals 16, and x equals plus or minus the square root of 16. Now, plus or minus means you'll have two different answers. X equals negative 4, x equals 4. So compare it to the previous 0 where we had x equals negative 3, happened twice at the same location. So really it's two zeros that just kind of on top of each other. This one, x was squared to begin with, but it gave us two different answers. One is negative 4 and one is positive 4. So both of these answers actually have a multiplicity of 1. Okay, let's try a different example. G of x equals x squared, x plus 5 to the third power, x minus 4, and then x squared plus 49. Okay, so once again, I'm going to go ahead and rewrite everything so that it equals 0, x squared, x plus 5 cubed, x minus 4, and x squared plus 49 equals 0. Now, zero factor property, x squared equals 0. Well, once again, this means that x times x equals 0. So either x is 0 or x is 0. So we have the exact same 0 twice in the same location. So multiplicity here is 2. So the answer is x equals 0. Multiplicity is 2. Now the second factor, x plus 5 equals 0. So x equals negative 5. This parenthesis was cubed, so there's 3 of them in this location. So multiplicity is 3 here. X minus 4 equals 0. X equals 4. Multiplicity is 1, that parenthesis to the first power. And the last one, x squared plus 49 equals 0. Well, x squared would equal negative 49, and then when you take the square root of this, you will get an imaginary number. So this is plus or minus 7i. Most of the time, whenever we are looking for the zeros for polynomial functions, we are looking for real zeros. This is not real. So we're not going to determine the multiplicity. It's just not real, and it's okay to just state that it's not a real zero.